You are listening to the VCast.
Hello, how are you? I have returned to your ears. You are privileged to be listening to another episode of the VCast. I'm back, Vic Cedeno, and I have a special guest today. I have Michele Traina.
Hello.
Hello, Traina.
I love you.
Hi.
I'm going to get married.
Oh my God, you went from 0 to 100.
I just love you.
I'm already sweating. All right, you're just going to add fuel to the fire of the rumors that already exist about us.
I wore
the
half
gossip
a
circles.
Is there a gossip?
There's a gossip
Really?
circle for sure.
Oh my God.
For sure. I've had male friends ask me, "Hey,
Have you fucked her?
you hitting that? You hitting that?
If we fucked,
Come on, you could tell me."
Well, if we fucked, it would have been really. We probably wouldn't be talking. That's the thing.
No.
Like if we fucked, I would be having a panic and anxiety attack because you don't text me back.
Yeah,
I would like-
this is why we're like oil and water. Like I'm repelled by your antics.
You know what? Fuck you. Okay.
And you are repelled by the fact that you know I'm repelled.
Well, no, and I actually do really value our friendship and colleagueship. I know
Yes.
it sounds kind of and you're so cute and you're handsome on top of that. But like, I thought about that. I'm like, yeah, like when I'm lonely and I'm like, well, maybe I could just fuck Vic and like, no, I don't mean it like that. I meant like the friend with benefits thing.
I'm just being used.
No, but I can't do it because then I know what will happen, and I don't want to. I don't want to fuck up another friendship.
No, I know
Every
what
time
happened.
I've told you, you know what? Fuck it. Like I had it when I had my mammogram last year. It's why I fucked Mike the cop. I really am not supposed to use his name anymore. He doesn't care, but like I'm trying not to do
Trademark. You can't stop calling him Mike the cop
Well,
because
we
he's just going to eliminate my role.
We changed
His name's
it
Miguel?
to Carlos the cop.
Carlos
in
the cop.
Season because of all the real names, whatever.
Yeah,
but
protect
I fucked him.
the innocent.
Yeah, protect the innocent.
Can you call Mike innocent?
Out of all the guys I dated, he actually and I dated, and I thought he would have been the worst one I dated. 8 years later, he's one of the best guys I've dated, which does not say a lot.
All right, to give everybody some context, because we're just like doing
Going into an
inside
ADHD
talk.
riff, yes.
We're like talking insider talk, and people probably don't know what we're talking about. Michele produced an awesome concept of a show called Divorce Diaries, and it's based around her life. And when I pitch it to people, and I'm telling people about what we did, I call it Sex and the City meets Seinfeld.
Okay, yeah, I like that. That's a good one too.
Because it's like your comedy.
Yep.
You're like inner circle, right? But it's also Sex and the City. It's also female. It's also, when I showed coworkers
Oh, I know. I love
the
that you
video,
showed that.
I work with all women. So I showed them the video of the trailer. Go to YouTube right now. Check out the Divorce Diaries trailer.
Yeah, that's right on the opening.
I'll put a link into the YouTube page and into the description. I showed people the video, and it's Michele living her life, running through top speed. She was late coming here. Like this is Michelle's life. Like she's always running. But
I wish I could say it was wrong. Yeah.
But it's the story that is very common to people, and it's the single mother.
Single mom
hustling
on
life.
amphetamines, hustle mentality.
Caffeine,
I think Boostello. I think that the thing that stands out differently from those other mockumentary type shows, comedies, is that I have this diverse world of diverse isn't a new word we're supposed to use, but fuck it. But I do love a lot of diversity in and out of my legs, and hasn't seen a lot. But also in my life, like I teach kids with special needs, I date men with special needs. That was actually true and still is. So there's a dynamic there of being the single mom on the outskirts and also having to come from this traditional religious Italian Catholic family, and then I'm always on the outskirts, and I feel it every day. But the best part is I really want to find love, and find
Yes.
love. I want love from
It's
a
the
man.
romantic story.
It's the romantic
Yes.
story, but then I am reactive and attachment issues. I have issues, clearly. Like, and I'm not saying that to like put myself down. I know at this point, 8 years after divorce, with my dating history, it's clearly me. And it is. Like, I pick and am attracted to men that are emotionally repulsed by my emotions.
I feel that. But you know what? I don't think when you talk about
Sorry. Bye. This looks like I'm jerking off the microphone too, by the way. This is big. I haven't had a thing this big near my mouth in about a year. I was gonna fuck the rabbi, but I didn't. I was gonna let him fucking pleasure me a couple months ago, but then he was like, "Put your hand on my dick." I'm like, I can't do it.
Oh my god.
I don't know where I just sidetracked.
A
to
rabbi, a Puerto Rican, and a Dominican walk into a bar, and who's waiting for them? Michele.
Which one of you is first? No.
You're funny.
Anyway, yes, the TV series, we shot the pilot almost 2 years ago. It's still circulating film festivals. You were fucking hilarious as one of my exes, the cop. And then I signed with the producer. We've been trying to pitch it to investors to film season 1. We wrote 6 episodes. It's in a stagnant place of finding the money to film. So I'm taking a different avenue now of maybe pitching it to still with my team, but like pitching it and doing short form stuff, and then trying to continue to pitch it to get more money for the long form stuff. I don't know, but more filming is going to happen within this next year.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's such a grind that people don't understand because we consume, and I'm new to entertainment and all that just within comedy. I never in my life would have thought I would have been into this industry, but that's a whole other topic. But it's crazy, like behind the scenes, like, and then you're really seeing it play out now with shows like Game of Thrones and stuff, where people are like dying for new episodes to come out.
I love that. That's
and
what
it takes
I want.
18 months to even like storyboard something. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, now with the writer's strike, it's a whole fucking shit show.
Yeah, the stuff going on behind the scenes and trying to get your stuff moved. These are ergonomic chairs.
This is very interesting. I'm really excited by these microphones. Sorry.
I love that you love the set. You
Okay.
came in, you like the backdrop.
I like the backdrop. Well, I was watching footage of our pilot and like how we have these fun dating scenes together. And at the time I was trying to make that Cuban guy jealous. So I kept like posting pictures of me and you. It didn't work, but
yeah, it worked to fuel the fires of the rumor mill.
wait, what is okay, so I would like to know, is there an actual rumor about me and you?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the rumor?
That we fuck.
Oh, all right.
That's it.
I want the rumor to be like, they're dating.
They're dating secretly.
Grab my hand, damn you! No, but
Oh my god.
but see, because then I think like if you do have sex with a friend you find attractive, then it goes away. I had this issue last year. I think I told you with somebody that we both know in the comedy world, and it was a friend, and we went on 2 dates, and Doug, who is also in the pilot's messaging me now, was not Doug though. He we didn't talk for a year because I didn't let him come in because he wanted to come in, and I was like, no, I like you, so I would rather like not fuck right away. And I think like what happened was I called him, I was like, hey, give me a call. I haven't heard from you in a week. What's going on? I feel like we should talk. I don't want you to think I try to reject you because I do like you. I just don't. And he's like, no, I don't look at you like that. I just want to be friends. I was like, yeah, what the fuck? I didn't talk to him for a year. And then we both got booked on a similar gig. And that's when we started. But we actually got caught up, and it was great. And I was really happy because I really liked him as a friend, and I missed our friendship. So, and I also felt like, well, God, I'm glad I didn't invite him in, because then if I did fuck him, he would have like not talked to me again, because you guys like the chase, and then after that you're like, bye, bitch. Right?
No, not everybody. I don't like the cutoff at that. You know, every woman that I've ever had sex with post 2004, like 2005, 2006 time, like after that, I have not had one bad Yelp review. No bad Yelp
I
reviews.
was just thinking about that. Like, meaning, like, no, you haven't had people coming after you.
Nobody's mad at me.
Oh, good thing we don't have sex.
Nobody's mad at me.
Oh, that's
because
good.
number
be a
one,
dick.
I don't play with people's emotions.
Right.
I don't pretend to want to be in a relationship with you just to have sex with you and then bounce. I
Right.
feel like that's cheap. It's cheap.
Yes,
like, you know what I
it's
mean? Like, it's
well, here's the thing.
very, very sneaky.
It's very when I okay, I will say two things. So this is the problem that I have. I'll hear a guy say that, and then I'll still, but we have such a great connection. Yeah. I can definitely feel him shifting his mind thought, and he's not shifting, and it's I just fucking cornered myself.
See, as a responsible male, I have to be the adult and be like, yes, I know you say that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also,
no, it's true.
Another thing I do is don't cuddle.
Oh no!
After sex, don't cuddle.
That happened with Mike the cop the last time, and I was like,
yeah, that's not a good thing to do afterwards, because that forms a different. You're
feeling,
forming
right.
like pheromone bonds.
Emotional intimacy.
Yes.
It's emotional intimacy. You
Yes.
have to have some for me to get turned on in bed. I have to have emotional connection to you. When Mike came over last year and I wanted to just like, let's just have sex, he was like, play with yourself before, and I'm like, this isn't turning me on. It wasn't. And then when he got there, I forgotten like kind of not what he looked like, but in person when you see somebody again, you're like, oh. And
the way you just said that.
It was like, okay, he's still cute, but like I pictured him bigger and meatier, but he still was meaty. You know, he was a pretty big guy, which was fine, which was doable. But he didn't finish me. He didn't finish me at first. Okay. So then he finished, and it was just like a ram truck going into the wall. I was like, oh, this has got to... It was like, oh, my God, I have to finish. This is what the whole point of you coming here was. So then we started talking. He was getting up to get dressed. I was like, where are you going? He's like, I was going to go home. I thought you had stuff to do. I said, I have to finish. And he's like, didn't I just do that? And I was like, no, you didn't. So I basically like made him stay until I finished. And it was hard. Because
that's a real win for women.
What?
Like making a guy stay.
It wasn't.
Hey, buddy,
he was trying to get away.
Finish.
He was trying to get up, and I kept jumping on top of him. That was a real great moment of my life last year. But the Cuban guy, speaking of leading people on, the Cuban guy that I told you about, he's a part of the show now because he had a big part of inspiring me to shift the pilot a certain way. And he was the one that I went out to LA, had a 4-day romance with. We spent 4 months being friends. He knew I had feelings. And you, like I told
Shifty
you,
business.
He did the long game.
The long game. I put you onto that.
You
had no idea. You had no idea what long game was.
I didn't know what the fuck it was.
All
when
right,
you
so
told me.
long game. When she told me what happened, I told her immediately, oh, he ran the long game on you, which is a guy will play the game. He will play your game out to completion. All right. And this is insider trade. Like
trading.
Men are going to get mad. I'm revealing this cheat code, but men will go along with your shit. And I'm sure there's plenty of aware women that are hip to it. But you know what? Even the women that know about the long game are still susceptible to it. The long game is meant to get past your defenses. It's meant to go against those vigilant women that protect their cooch with all of their heart and all of their Christian and Catholic upbringings. Like they'll use everything.
Holy water.
But the long game is when you basically become a secret agent.
Yeah, but he did tell me, yes, I agree with you. He was very manipulative. He told me we were going to be lifelong friends.
Secret agent shit.
He came to the show. He let me, I stayed at his house. He invited me to stay at his house. I met his friends. And then I wrote him this cute little note, and he drove me to the airport. I mean,
did he drive you to the airport immediately upon receiving that note?
No. We spent
got the note. He was like, no.
No, he actually wrote back into the note. He's like, I believe that the universe has a bigger. He sent me a text message and said, I believe the universe has a bigger picture for us as well.
He Shakespeare'd you.
This is after
he was Shakespeare.
Yes, and then I got home and honestly, I'm still hurt from it. Like, it still bothers me. And he looks like a fucking Cuban leprechaun. I know you hear the joke I do on stage about it, but he does. He looks like a fucking little gremlin. And to this day, and he's in the industry of entertainment. He's pretty high up on knowing a lot of people. He introduced me to a producer that was going to help me with the show, and then when it went south with him, his name actually means dick, and it's not Dick or Richard, but he's a fucking dick, and that's what he changed his name to, because he is dead. His real name is
Dick Wolf. Is it Dick Wolf?
No, his real name is very Hispanic.
Don't say it.
Right. Can't say it.
I don't want any blowback.
No. Did you say blowback?
Yeah, I don't want any blowback.
Okay, no. His real name is a very Hispanic name, but he changed it to a very white name.
Oh, he's a sellout.
Yeah, but I don't know why he changed it. He said because of the apostles.
His new name is Weisenberg.
Well, no, he didn't change it to very Jewish. He did just a white guy name, which is funny because I was like, why don't you just change it to something maybe similar to your whatever. So I say to him, and he's got like 5 different versions of it too. Like he switched his last name to be more for his. It's so weird. So my one friend's like, don't ever trust a guy who's got 5 fucking names. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I did. I really did trust him. I really cared for him.
Why do you have all these passports?
Why do you have all these passports? Yeah, right?
Who are you?
He is an asshole. And then I was really hurt for that for like a while. It took me a long time to heal from that. Yeah. And I'm still hurting from it. So I haven't had sex in a year, okay? And I know, it's devastating. It's very annoying. And I don't.
See the face I'm making?
Oh, maybe we should make those rumors true. Who said it to you? I would like to know. Is it just like a couple of random dudes?
Yeah, random dudes. Random dudes that I know.
Oh, that's sweet, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
I have never had sex with a comic. Have I? No. Have you had sex with a comedian? Okay, yes. I see those bitches with their boobs. Not bitches in a bad way. I do it too. I rub my boobies on Vic.
No, you don't.
I think I did.
Yeah, I think you have. I think you have. I think
I rubbed my boobies on you.
And I was
my cousin is rubbing.
I was like, ew, stop. Ew.
It's like emotional titties. No, Michelle, no.
Even the titties are clingy.
They are. No, I do the story of Divorce Diaries, which is, my journey after divorce. And even before I got married, I just wanted to find this like hot romantic partner who I laugh with, I could create with. And it wasn't my ex-husband, for sure. I definitely had feelings for him at some time, but definitely wasn't the love of, like, when I look back at it, I'm like, well, how did I think that person and I were going to grow together? But when you're 23 and you're, it's different then, I guess.
The way you see everything is different, right?
The way you see everything is different, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I changed so much about myself to be with the person I thought was the one for me. What the fuck? And I look at him now, and I'm like, I'm so happy that you're happy with your girlfriend, but I just don't get.
I don't have a girlfriend. Oh, you mean him?
My ex-husband.
I think you looked at me and said, I'm like, wait.
Oh, he's like, bitch,
don't spread another rumor. Don't spread another rumor. I don't have a girlfriend.
That's what a man really doesn't want to be a rumor. Yeah. The only rumor men don't want.
I'm immediately fact-checking you. I'm like, no.
I don't have a girl. Well, let me ask you a question. Okay, so my ex-husband is a girlfriend. Does your ex-wife has a boyfriend? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and you don't care, right? Because it's like...
I've had this conversation. You know what? I haven't talked about this on the podcast yet, but I had a conversation with other people about it, and it did.
Yeah.
And it does.
Okay.
Bother me.
Yeah.
But it bothers me in a possessive way. Where like, that's mine. That's mine. Yeah, that's mine.
I love it.
You know what I mean? Like, like that part bothers me. Also,
I love that about Latin men. They're just possessive and jealous, and they'll pin you to the ground and fuck you all over threaten people's life. I'm sorry.
I never had a conversation with her about it. Oh. Right? I picked up on the signs.
Oh, she
okay.
never even told you.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, I started seeing like things done to the house, like handy things. I was like, it's like, chick ain't handy. I was like, I wonder who's doing this shit, So like I saw the front light was replaced, right? The front light bulbs were different fixtures.
Oh no, not the fixtures.
Yeah, then there was like a new camera installed. Oh. Right? And I was like, was like, all right. And then there was, and then I saw the motorcycle. Then the motorcycle.
He's a motorcycle guy.
And then there was a motorcycle part, which really rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, he's also, of course.
She's Italian,
which,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I like
Fucking
her already.
Italians.
We like these Latin men.
And,
is he Puerto Rican or is he different?
I don't know. I don't ask questions. I don't fucking ask questions. But his name's Roger. So
that's not a Latin name.
I would be no, it is because it's in Spanish. It's Rogel, something like that. It's a Spanish name.
What do I know? I'm white.
Yeah, so. And so I knew about it because my daughter would start talking about it. I remember
you telling me this. Yes,
and I'm like, mortified. I would get mad at her and stuff. And I felt so bad, but I was like, I don't know. I told her, I was like, hey, listen, this is on you. I'm really sorry that.
No, being honest with your kid is important, and that's okay.
Like, I'm trying to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, you're hurting.
I would just stop talking to her. Like, she would say something about something that they did, and be like, I don't want to hear it. Like, so it was taking me a while to process, and I didn't confront her about it because I'm very confident and secure in her and the decisions that she would make and who she would pick.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect her to bring a piece of shit around my daughter.
Okay, well that's good. Yes.
Right. So I didn't have to rush to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it was more
I
of an
trust
emotional,
her judgment.
like,
Yeah, I mean, she picked me. What are we talking about here?
Ooh,
So,
right.
right. So, but what was I saying? Oh,
it's a blow. It's kind of a shot in your stomach because this person and you had a family together.
Yes.
And then now they've moved on.
This
and
guy's
it's
living
like,
my life.
Yeah.
Yes, he's living the life I thought I wanted.
You thought you wanted, which is
Yes.
a key point in the fact that, like, when I see like my family members who are in these marriages, and it's not that they're not happy. I don't know what's really going on. I actually realize, as much as like I hate sometimes, like, oh, I'm the only single one, whatever. I'm like, but I don't know if I actually want to be the married one. As much as I bitch about not finding the right guy, I actually kind of really like being in this unique road less traveled role. So like, is that how you feel about?
Papa's a Rolling Stone. Papa's a Rolling Stone. And what I mean by that is this is why me and like when I discovered comedy, it blew my fucking head off.
Right.
Because I'm like, hold up. You go out every night. You're hanging out at these places.
Yeah.
But you're working.
You're working.
You're hanging out, but you're working.
It's productive. Fun.
You're working towards something. You're honing a craft.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
You're honing a craft. You're practicing art. All of that good stuff. I put the label, I'm looking for attention, because that's my go-to since I was a kid. This is why I always say my guidance counselor failed me, because if you would have seen my behavior, you would have been like, hey, you need to be in front of a camera.
Yeah, you should be performing.
Yeah, you like to perform, you know? So like, that's how I see that in my daughter is the exact way.
Really?
Like, I'm like trying to teach her something and she's going, and I'm like, hey, this is why you keep getting in trouble in school. I'm like, sometimes you have to learn when it's time to perform.
Well, where is the on and off button? And I think people who are, especially theater, film, television, whatever, they have an energy about them that needs to create, even if it's podcasting or whatever, storytelling, dance, singing. I mean, that's our escape, right? But it's also the way we learn, process, heal, grow. So that's why we love. Like that's why I want
how you communicate, how you express yourself.
So with the comedy, it's almost as if like this. I always like to say, my daughter is my family. Then my other person in my life is my craft, because it's not that I want to find a life partner, right? But I always, when I pray and I manifest stuff, I'm like, please do this first.
You have other priorities.
Yeah, even though I really want to find the man of my dreams, I rather have all this other stuff happened with Divorce. First, my daughter's health, but health and happiness, right? But then Divorce Diaries first. I was like, I don't care if I fucking am alone for the rest of my life. My craft means so much to me. Like the time I did, it's just another thing. Like the show I did at the Dojo in January, that was one of the first shows that I left feeling like, oh, in a while that I'm like, I'm progressing. And I left listening to my set, and I fell asleep smiling. I didn't give a fuck about what guy wasn't texting me, who wasn't in my life anymore. And finally,
Nothing
I was
else
like,
matters.
That was gross. Because in the past, I would always go back to some idiot that I was talking to that didn't come to the show, it's like, but I had to really. It still takes a while because I still do that. But that night, I'll never forget. I'm like, wow, I'm growing emotionally. Then I took 5 steps back and texted the guy a couple days later.
No, but I think
but
what you're saying is like 100%, because when I first came, you booked me on a show at
Just Jake's.
It
was so long ago. I
right?
know.
Yeah, so long ago. Just Jake's in Montclair. And I remember, first of all,
he's married. I remember,
first of all, I'm like, God, I'm on a show called Divorce Diaries.
I know. I did not mean to do that, by the way.
And it was already in my mind because I had already felt a like a rift. I did I know I'm all over the place with what I'm talking about, but I don't care.
No, we're going to connect it back.
I did a open mic like 3 months into comedy, and it was at in Hawthorne, Sticks and Stones in Hawthorne.
Oh, right.
And I did an open mic there, and it was a night that I didn't have any material prepared. Right. And I was having that moment right before they were going to call my name, and they're like, what am I going to say on stage?
Yeah.
And I don't know where this came from, but I was like, I'm going to do a monologue. Right. And I got up on stage. I have to find this on my zip drive. I have to find this video wherever it is, because I've never posted anything from it. But I had a 5-minute set. I sat on a chair and I had the mic, and I got in like a real depressed mode. Very serious, and I was like, I just want to talk to you guys about something that's going on. I have an open mic. I just want to use the time, and the whole place was silent. And for my entire 5 minutes, they hung on every word I said, and all I kept saying was how I was with another woman. I'm cheating on my wife. I have this other woman. I don't know what to do. I'm conflicted. I think she knows. I think she's. That she knows that I'm doing, I think she knows that there's someone else. I feel, and I went on this whole thing, and then at the end, I'm like, I think the best thing for me to do is be honest and tell everybody who it is. And her name is Comedy.
Oh, and that was good. I love that.
Like, and I got goosebumps because but that's how I was already feeling.
Yeah, you were feeling it, and then also the high you get from the way the storytelling into a comedic bit, right? It leaves you feeling. I mean, did your ex-wife ever come to one of your shows?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she went to see me at Dangerfields.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay.
Yeah, she went to see me at Dangerfields, and where else? I think Dangerfield was only the big show she saw, but I think she went to Nikki's once.
Okay, all right. So she supported. What did she support the comedy?
It was her idea.
Oh, it was. Wait, what?
Yeah,
it was her idea.
It was her idea. We were on our way home from Gotham Comedy Club.
Okay.
We just saw Joey Diaz.
Yes.
I laughed so hard. We had such a good time, and we're on our way back, and I'm like saying his bits, and we're laughing in the car, and then I'm joking with her. My own natural humor. And she's like, how come you never did stand-up comedy? And what she didn't know when she said that was I had already been writing jokes for no. Man, I really wish I remember. I don't know if I was writing jokes before, because I wrote jokes for almost 2 years before I ever did an open mic.
Really?
I was too scared.
Well, the seed was already planted before she mentioned it. It just helped you push yourself out the door.
It never occurred to me in my mind that I can do it.
No, it doesn't. First of all, stand-up is the most intimidating form of performance. One of the most intimidating form of performances. When I was in college, I did improv, and I did improv outside of college, and I was like, improv's my thing. I did stand-up once, and I was like, this is very fucking hard. And the only reason why I went into stand-up as opposed to going back into improv when I got divorced was because of the cop. And I couldn't get into an improv class, but I got into a stand-up class. And I was like, fuck it. But I was scared shitless. But it is, once you start doing it, you realize there's a rhythm just like with anything else. You want to study ballet, if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a cinematographer, there's a rhythm to it. But if you don't step out of your comfort zone, or you don't just go and do it, you're never going to know. So that little push for you, that was a good omen.
Yeah, and it was at Nikki's. I had happened. And I'll tell you the story too because Nikki's just ended. I just
really poking out. Sorry.
let it go. This is
Hey,
you know,
Nips.
this could
I
be-
do have a bra on. Oh God.
So
Okay, so Nikki's just ended.
Nikki's ended right. She wanted to go in a different direction
I got you.
with her nights.
Yeah, I understand.
And yeah, of course, I love Nikki. She's
Burlesque?
No.
I'm
I don't
joking.
know. I was like, I was like, wait,
That would be
no. I don't
fun.
know what.
Didn't
I don't
Jersey
know what
bars
that-
go to burlesque? Okay, go back to Nikki. So you did Nikki's.
Yes.
Okay.
So I tell you, I had sitting in my mind, writing jokes. We definitely had already did the Joey Diaz thing. I'm writing jokes, but I'm scared to go to an open mic. So I'm looking them up, finding out where they are, and not going. And saying I'm going to go this day and then never
And you
go,
don't
right?
go, yeah.
And then, so then one day I go to Nikki's because my friend Nikki just bought a bar and I want to go check it out.
Right.
And the day, and it was like she was already at the bar 6 months or something by the time I went to go say hi. And when I go, I was on a Wednesday night because it was Wing Wednesday. It was also open mic night.
Right, because there was somebody
Dave
else.
Durkin.
Yes, and I was cast on Nikki's right when you switched over to you. I'll never forget.
Yes, that's
Not
how we
cast.
met.
Yes, that's
That's
how we met.
That's
how we met.
Right,
I
because
was like,
Dave
Vic
Durkin
Cedeno,
already
yes.
had you booked.
And you came to the Just Jake's. There was right before Nikki's. I met you at Just Jake's, and I was like, oh, that guy's cute. And I was like, ah, fuck, he's married. And I was like, damn it, because you were Puerto Rican.
Yes.
Perfect looking. I was like, all right, this is great. I broke up with Mike at that point, and I was like, oh, I would really make Mike jealous, putting it back on myself. And when Mike saw you, by the way, side note, when my ex saw him, yo, that dude looks nothing fucking like me. I'm like, yeah, he's better looking, you idiot. All right, anyway.
That's fucking
So
great.
Nikki's, you do so then you go
So
to
did the open mic,
Nikki's.
and then that was it.
That was
the rest
it.
is
And so the rest
because
is
I
history.
went and then I saw it dispelled the fear for me, right?
Yeah.
Because my friend Jesse Montanez
Oh,
was
I love
there.
Jesse. He's sweet.
He
I've
was
seen him so long.
He was there with his notebook,
Yeah.
right, holding it up to his face so he couldn't see the crowd,
Oh.
right, and reading his jokes off the book, then looking, see if anybody laughed. Nope. And then he kept doing it, and then he bombed. Right, he just ate the biggest bag of dicks I've ever seen in my life. Right, and I'm like,
Thick
and he
ones.
walked off stage and he just left.
Just left.
Yeah, nobody made fun of him. Nobody
No.
ridiculed him. So I was like, huh,
Not as hard. Yes, exactly.
this isn't so bad. If he could do it, I was like, all right. So then I came back the next week. I didn't go up. Came back the next week, and I would have chickened out again probably if Nikki wasn't like, what are you doing? What are you doing back here again for? I was like, oh, he's like, you here for the comedy again? She's like, why don't you just go up? And then she talked me into going up. So then I signed up.
Ah, see
and I
us
went up.
women. We
Yeah.
talk you men into everything. You sure don't want a relationship, Vic? I just touched your leg. Wait, so okay. So I think that open mics, the only time I'm really intimidated is when I get intimidated a lot, but like I'll still do it. But when I feel like, oh my God, you got that imposter syndrome. I hosted at Bananas, and I was so excited. I've done it before. You've seen me. I headline my own one-woman show. Like, I can do shit. I have years of acting training too, by the way, that like I have student loans in debt for, that my fucking ass should just fucking be a professional and not give a fuck. I still get like imposter syndrome, and I was at Bananas hosting for Pete Corielli. I got very nervous. I was like, oh my God, I just please let me do well. And that was a lot of fun, but that was one. And then this woman is a Bravo celebrity. Anish Ramakrishna was on this show called Family Karma. I hosted for her a couple weeks ago, like a month ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
When I found out it was her, I was like, oh my God, a Bravo celebrity. I know, like, for some people, I'm super into Bravo, and I got so nervous. I'm like, this lady's she's gonna think I'm like gross. Like, what? I don't know. Like, she's gorgeous too. She was one of the nicest people I've ever met in comedy. And she just started doing comedy. Well, she's been a comedy creator, and like now she's doing stand up, and she's working her ass off to do her own spot. Right. Okay. She follows me, likes my stuff. I was like, I feel special. I know. But if I was so nervous and let that take over me and not just be myself, because I was afraid I shouldn't, I was like, fuck, I'm going to be who I am. I talk a lot. I like hug. I did it. Yeah. And it showed myself like, this is who you are. Just embrace it. Embrace the situation, who you are, and ride into it. And I think that if you don't do it, you're never going to be able to identify if it was the right path or not. Like, I don't have any doubts that what I do is the right path. Like, I took time off from acting to be a teacher for a while, and that was the right path. It's still the right path to still teach. But at the end of the day, I don't have to question what if, because I'm now back on the journey I was a long time ago when I left teaching full time. My bank account
See,
is
what
looking
I
different,
think
but
what you just said is so
Sorry.
important.
I
I know, but that's the dream. That's the price you pay for the dream.
right.
And
What would Gary Vee do?
yeah, and I feel like it's even more commendable what you're doing because you're literally risking it all.
My accountant said to me during my taxes.
What?
like-
Work more?
He goes, "You really don't have another opportunity. You really can't fail, Michelle, because you really don't have another choice."
Yeah, that's the kind of fire you need.
I was like, well, as long as my mouth and jaw work, I could suck dick for a living too. I'm joking, Mom. Please don't watch this.
That's fucking great.
I know.
But I know you could just show your feet on OnlyFans.
I feel like OnlyFans, everyone says it's easy money.
It's not.
It's not. I feel like
Nothing's easy.
Nothing is
Everything
easy.
looks easy.
Looks easy.
Nothing's easy.
I'm telling you right now, it sounds like it would be great if I need to make thousands of dollars. I can get nude. No, I also adjuncted a college. I have a theater company for children. I don't want to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
However, people need to make money right now. It's
you can
a
do
fucking.
it with a mask.
Well, I can do the mat
You
anonymously.
can just do it with a mask and like a ski mask.
Well, this is what we're doing in the
a
studio
ski
after
mask
hours.
and just show your feet. No, but I have a girl.
bunions.
I have a girl that wants to make money on OnlyFans with her feet.
Yes,
She wants me
you
to help
can.
her, and I'm like, I don't want to.
Okay, wait.
It's a great idea. It's not that
it's
it
just
won't
not- it's
work.
a lot.
I just don't want to. I don't have the time.
No, there's no
the
time
energy. I don't have the space in my brain.
Yes, 'cause
for
it's like-
that.
it's like-
that's a job.
It's another job.
Yes.
So with all of this going on, the VCast, you got Dojo, you're doing a lot of stuff. You did Kill
Tony.
Kill
yeah.
Tony.
That's what when you just said. Let me
Yeah,
tell you
let's
something
talk about
about
that.
Kill Tony, which was cool. But for the last, they just had their 10th anniversary show.
Yeah.
And they invited the kid that went before me on Kill Tony. When I did Kill
So
Tony,
yeah.
the kid before me,
The black guy, right?
black kid,
Okay,
Cam, yes. He went up before me and absolutely murdered.
Yeah.
Right? And what I didn't know at the time was that the first 4 comics before him bombed terribly. They were like awful to the point one of them that he threw off the stage. He was like, just get out of here. Like, what are you even coming here for? Like, because when they told him his time, he was like, all right, Tony, what do you want me to talk about? And he was like, what? Why are you asking me?
Oh, God.
Yeah, he immediately hated fucking the show. Tony got so mad, right? And everybody was just like, what? Like, go into your own thing. This other guy told a street joke. Like, 2 guys walk into a bar.
Oh,
He did a whole
no.
minute joke. Like one of those long form jokes.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy walked into the store and then he said, and like he did one of those. And Tony was like, what? So that was 2 of those. And then 2 other guys that just sucked.
Just sucked. Okay.
And then, so I get called. I was in the alley. I waited like a half hour, 45 minutes in pouring rain.
I know. I saw
right?
your videos.
Yeah, I was in pouring rain. So I was completely soaked. I was about to leave, right? And then I was listening to this other guy. He went into his own monologue where
Okay.
this little Jack dude comes out and he's like, this is the suck. This is what we're supposed to be. And this is who separates the weak from the strong. Because people were leaving and stuff.
Oy vey,
And
I
I'm
know.
listening to him say that. And I'm like, huh.
All right.
And then all of a sudden behind me, and the next name's going to be Vic Cedeno. I was like, oh, shit. Right? So I go in, right? They immediately go in, there's security. They wand
yeah,
you.
yeah,
You got to
yeah.
take everything out of your pockets, put them inside the thing. You go up, and now you're waiting behind the curtain thing. I'm like, can I use the bathroom? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, wonderful. So,
Piss my pants,
I was
bitch.
like,
I don't
fuck it, I'm
care.
already wet anyway.
Because how long did you wait for again? And
At least like a half hour, 45 minutes I was out. No,
You
but
came from
bullshit,
Jersey.
since 6:30.
Yeah, I
I
mean-
was waiting, because that's when you sign up, is at 6:30.
You went all the way down from Jersey. Yeah,
Yes.
you're gonna go. Okay, go ahead.
So I was like, so then I'm behind the curtain and they're telling me, all right, so, they're giving me instructions where to stand. This is when you go
Yeah.
through, right? I don't realize that this kid's murdering, right? Then they finally leave me alone. They're like, all right, they're gonna call you out in a couple of minutes. I'm like, all right. They're talking to the kid, and as they're talking to the kid, you're going to be a big star. I can feel it. That was so good. They start giving him spots on shows at the mothership, right?
What?
They start giving him 2 spots. Then Red Band gives him a spot at his club, the Sunset Strip. Then Tony's like, he goes, where are you from? He's like, Orlando, Florida. He goes, I'm going to be in Tampa on this date.
What?
Doing this theater. I gave him everything, right? So he leaves. Everybody give it up for Camps. The whole place goes crazy. He's fucking high-fiving Doug Stanhope and shit, high-fiving all the band members.
God.
He walks off. And your next comic's Vic Cedeno. So he comes out. I'm like, yo, man, that was awesome. Good congratulations. All right, yeah, good shit, you know. And
then
so he leaves. Yeah. So then they call my name. I go up. I did my minute.
You did really good. First of all, knowing that what you're telling me, and I watched the whole thing, you did really good.
But here's the thing: and this is what I took away.
Yeah.
My lesson, and what fired me up coming back, was that I went out there and I attacked.
Exactly.
I didn't let it. Like I didn't try to be intimidated.
Yep.
I walked out there. Let me tell you, Michelle. When I walked out there and I stepped out there, there's 300 people, the biggest comedy club in the world right now.
Yeah.
Like the hottest comedy club in the world. I'm on the stage on the same stage as all the greats have been on.
Yeah.
There's Red Band. There's Tony Hinchcliffe. There's Doug Stanhope. Right. There's the band. There's all these comedy fans. And I was just like, I remember like I'll never like that look. I looked out and it was dead quiet. Right? No, everybody applauded. And then I got to the mic and then the sound dropped.
The sound drops, you feel
and I
that
started
moment.
talking.
Yeah.
And this is where like if you're not comfortable with silence, it would really rattle you.
Yeah.
But since as I felt it as I started talking, my whole body was like, oh my God, nobody's saying anything. But it's like, it's all right.
Yeah. You look really good. I thought the bit was great. I thought you talking about your life when they asked you the questions, very natural.
That's where I see.
It was good.
The last couple days,
check it out.
That guy Cam, he was on the 10th anniversary show. They invited him back to the 10th anniversary show. He does another minute, kills another minute, becomes a regular. Now they made him a regular. And in my mind, I sent him a message. Hey, congratulations, because we've been talking stuff.
Yeah.
We follow each other on Instagram.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because afterwards we went out and he saw when everybody knows if you did well in the alley because you come out with the big notebook.
You got the notebook.
Yeah. If you come out with the big notebook, I did a spectacular catch on stage. Did you see as I was leaving and he threw it to me? I caught it in one hand.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I caught it.
That's so exciting. Yeah.
That's all the comments that I've been getting was nice catch. Nobody cared about my joke. Everybody just keeps saying nice jack. But then I sent him that message. But after I sent him that message, my hater, like my hate inside boiled.
Oh, right.
Right? And I was like, not anything against him.
No, I know you're saying.
I'm just like, I fucked up.
No,
I didn't.
You turned it on yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I was like, I didn't capitalize because there was so in the interview part, there was other directions I feel like I could have gone where I could have talked more about. When he said, "What do you do for fun?" That was the perfect segue to say I like pro wrestling to one of the biggest pro wrestling fans in the world.
I know, but
something we could have relayed. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. I know.
And this is what I'm going through. And then what you just said.
The imposter syndrome thing. I hate that. I hate
what
that.
you just said before really nailed it. And I don't even remember. I'm going to have to listen back.
If you don't do it though.
Thank you.
You did it.
That.
So like you can go through what you could have done 1,000 times, but the fact that you did it is already enough. Because, and I go, this is from reading The Alchemist and doing my own spiritual shit and like, you know, my own motivational speaking podcasts that I listen to, but you took that step, right? It just means that this is the universe showing you of what is to come if you keep following this route of consistency of what you're doing. I mean, I really think you did a great job. And like, I went after Daryl Hammond once after another stand-up class. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that because someone did not. They're like, oh, that's a big mistake to go after.
No, that's what you want.
That's what you want.
That's what
and
you
then there was
need.
another female comic who was headlining, and she goes, don't listen to him. You do it right. You go right behind. I was so happy, even though no one else gave a shit. I was just like, whatever. And I think at the end of the day, if you were happy and proud of it, fuck it. Fuck everything else. It's so fleeting with fame, celebrities, the consistency and longevity of building a career is so separate that it will happen. And like, I mean, I say that and then I'll go home and be like,
I know.
why is it not happening?
Because
but it's a process.
You want to know what my first feeling when I after like the buzz of it, my first feeling was I belong.
Hey,
I belong
yes,
here.
Exactly how
I was like, I fucking belong
your home
here.
Yeah, I just put that in my mouth. No, but it's the truth. Like when you perform and you feel the audience vibe, you feel something like the experience you felt, you feel at home. And I think that's why I chose this from the time I was in high school to be on stage as a job, as what I want to pursue as a lifestyle, right? Like I woke up this morning, intimate thought, and I was stressing out about money. And I was like, I'm stressed about money. And I have this new gig. I host for a show called What's Up New York. It's really cool. It's exciting. Mm-hmm. But it's not me hosting on Oxygen right now, like it's just, but it's a small gig that can lead to other things. And I'm excited for it, but I'm stressing about money. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm wasting time. I could be sitting up and writing, but I'm letting all of these, like this detractor take from like my joy. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to give myself one more day, and then I'm going to go back to that thought. And what ends up happening is that during the time I'm just giving myself one more day, and then I'll go back to that thought. During that day, something happens where I get ignited and inspired to go back to forget about the fear. But I also feel like if you're not at home doing comedy or whatever it is that you love and you pursue, then it's not for you. And that's okay. But I have never in my life felt more at peace and excited about who I am than when I've been on stage. So I'm so glad that you feel that way too.
Yeah. I mean, that's like how your mind plays tricks on you. Because my mind tells me I'm lazy all the time.
But those are the negative thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. So when you have and I do the same thing for myself, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? As I get older, I get more like, sometimes it creeps in a little bit more sometimes, I guess. But then you have to go back to put it out on the fucking pad, put it out on the stage. Like I keep looking at these social media influencers, which sounds really, I love social media for creating, but then I'll look at other comedians or other actors. I'm like, what the fuck? How do you have time to like the money or like the clothes? I'm like, I can't keep, or comedians who do these sketches, and I'm like, I have one wig and a bowl cap and I'm trying my hardest, but then I'm just like, don't let that get into your brain. And you
can't
start
compare.
Calling yourself names. Don't.
Yeah.
One thing at a time. That's what I keep trying to tell myself.
I know. And that's why I left TikTok. Because I was like, nobody on TikTok.
You can get it can get.
I got depressed on it, and then I just, I was like, you know what? I'm not good on TikTok, so I don't want China to spy on me.
But you know what I will say that I've hung on.
Hair.
Ooh, beard hair.
Yeah.
We know it's not. Never mind. No. Should I go that route? By the way, on a side note, have you ever dated so just on this is a great conversation about finding what feeds you and not letting you get the best, not letting the fear and the imposter syndrome get the best of you, right? Mm-hmm. So with the series and like how kind of right now I'm at a pivot of where do I go next, because probably every comedian wants to have their own TV series. This show means more to me. It feels like I knew this was my journey when I was a kid, because I always envisioned something like this as a kid. Not that I knew I was going to get divorced, but something like this, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, where do I go from here? I want to get to that point where I'm like, I'm not going to stop with the football and I'm going to the end zone. Where do I go from here? And yeah, there's points where I just wake up and I'm like, what if you don't get there? Like, what happens then? And then that's what makes me fear things. But then I'm like, but I think Gary Vee said something, but you went on the journey, and that's actually better than if you actually get the goal. That he said something like that, and I was like, I think he's kind of right, and I'm not fully there yet in understanding that, because if someone were to say to me, Divorce Diaries is never going to be a network, but you will do this, this, and this, and this, okay, great, but it would be hard for me to accept that because I'm like, this is my goal, right? But at least regardless of what happens tomorrow, I can say I went on the journey. I fucking left my teaching job. I left my marriage. I did all these things because I knew that my purpose was not where I was at. It's bigger and it's different. And like it sounds like that experience was probably one of many more to come that are going to show you the purpose of your greater self, the potential that Vic Cedeno is more than breaking ladies' hearts.
You know what? I think
Tri-State area.
I think what the point of that is, like the journey, is because the journey and what you're doing, the act of pursuing, is what people are all about.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's why when you're stuck at a dead-end job, you're so miserable.
There's nowhere
because
to go.
even if there is a goal, you're saving for this. You want to have this house. Even if there is a goal, you're miserable because you're not enjoying the way you're getting there.
The process is miserable.
Yes.
And then within that, then you go to your personal life, right? If you're in relationships that seem to be at dead ends or that are monotonous, honestly, that's how I look at some marriages or like, even though I want
it's like a dead end job.
It's like a dead end job. Or it's like, you know, you just want something bigger for yourself. And that doesn't put down people who have different lifestyle than I do. Some people look at me and be like, what the fuck? You're a mess.
It's not for everybody.
I think I'm great, damn it. Okay.
Not for everybody.
Me and my dildo-sized microphone are going to town tonight. This really does feel like a big dildo.
The journey, the journey leads you to where you're supposed to be, right? Because your goal might not be what God has planned for you or what the universe has planned for you, right? It might be in the same direction, which is why it feels good.
And then you'll start to feel it uncover.
And then as you're going through this journey, you're becoming a different person. You're becoming a better person. You're meeting new people. You're
learning new things about yourself.
You're getting new memories. You're gaining new perspectives.
Yeah,
and then your goal could change. Yeah,
your goal changes. Your priorities change. Leanne Morgan, you know that comedian? She has she's in the Netflix now. Her story I've been following a lot. I'm gonna find her up. Leanne Morgan has her own Netflix special, and she's in her 50s. She has a very interesting story about what she wanted so badly to happen. Leanne Morgan, you got to follow her. It's the Netflix special is I'm Every Woman. She has this whole part where she couldn't. Kind of like how I feel like I am sometimes, where she's getting booked, but like not selling out, and she's like they're saying no to me. But then now, finally, after years, she wanted a series so bad, but it just never happened. And now she's in a feature film with Reese Witherspoon, and like all this other stuff is happening. And she said on one of the podcasts she was on that I listened to, she said, you know, for so long I wanted this TV series, and now I'm just so happy to be like selling out theaters, and now I have these feature films. It's almost as if I did get the series, but I didn't. So I thought that was a very unique moment for me to say, hey, you know what? If that would happen to me, I'd be happy too. But it's the pursuit of it, right?
Yeah, but it's also because you don't even understand vision.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even understand your vision. So what you say your goal is could just be mislabeled.
Right.
It could just be misnamed. Where you're still went in the right direction.
Right. It's just that
you just had the destination wrong. Yeah, you had the name wrong.
You had the name wrong or something.
But it's the same thing.
I mean, that name.
Because I think what you want to do is create.
I want to create. I want to be on set every day.
You know who Ari Shaffir is?
Yes.
Ari Shaffir.
Yes, I definitely.
He was on one of the episodes with Joe Rogan. He was talking about an ayahuasca trip. That he did.
Okay.
Right, and ayahuasca, it's like you go down to South America and you do this ceremony with a shaman, right? And he says in his experience, he was laying there and he saw all these orbs go up.
Oh, wow.
And all these orbs were things that he did, and all these like he created like a stand-up special. Right, and he takes this orb, he puts all this work into it, he creates it, and he puts it up into the orb. And now the orb is going to be up there forever with all the other orbs that everybody has ever created. Gone with the Wind, Shakespeare's work of art. Like everybody's created all these orbs, and he comes to the realization that his happiness comes not from the orb, but creating the orb and putting that out for other people to see.
Yeah.
You know, and his other passion is helping other people create orbs.
There are orbs, yeah.
And not even helping other people create orbs, but helping people's orbs be seen by other people.
I love that. Yeah.
Making sure other people see how great these other orbs are. Well, which is what he does, is help other comics and put people on. And
also having that authentic feeling of like it, because just like happiness, it's fleeting. If you do something, you put it up on an hour, it's all of it is fleeting. And when I go on the road, right, there's these moments where there's like a come down. Like I love the excitement of getting there. Then there's the night of the show, right? And that's like I've started to do this where I'm like, this is it. This is where you flew here. This is your, I'm worried about tickets, but this is the moment now. And I've been doing this every time I'm on the road, which I just soak in that night as much as I can and be present, meaning like with like, I don't have a sip of alcohol till maybe I'm at the hotel, if that. Like I write before I rehearse, like all of that for me is what's helping me soak in that experience, because it's giving me the best of my craft with that, because afterwards it's done. Like, yeah, great. I performed in Ohio, but was it good?
And it's gone.
Did
Even
I give
if
my
it's
110?
great, that moment.
If it's great, but
it's
like the
out there
process of
forever.
if the process of me rehearsing and going through the motions and feeling the crowd and listening to everything around me and not letting my neuroses get the best of me and fuck my shit up, is what it is about. And like also at the end of the fucking day, and I'm starting to realize this too when I talk to other comedians, maybe who are more veteran and been around, and some of them are bitter. Have you ever experienced? I'm sure you've experienced it bitter.
Sure.
And I get it, and I feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to be that way.
I could see how we could be, and I feel like when I see a bitter comic, I'm not like, oh, why are you bitter?
No,
I'm like,
no,
I
not
get
at all.
it. I'm sorry
feel for them, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But then I also look
bitter.
at like, well, how do we get to a place where regardless, we are happy with the process we created? Like I submit for acting gigs. I in addition to comedy do acting. I have the kids theater that I do, but it's the process, because if I'm not I'm like, if this is not making me feel good, if this is causing me a lot of stress, we got to fix it. Because then I'm just going to end up bitter and sad and feeling depressed. And yeah, I don't know. I think that it's so great that you had that moment at Kill Tony's. Is it Kill Tony? Kill Tony.
Kill Tony.
Kill Tony. And that's going to happen a lot more for you. I feel it. I know it.
Yeah, I'm glad. You see how things work. Like, you have these conversations, and this is like has been my favorite part about doing this podcast.
Yeah,
is having these conversations that whenever I see you and we're like, it's always we're at a show.
We're at a show or something. Yeah.
And you could talk a little bit, but you never really crack things open.
Yeah.
And explore like these ideas and these feelings, because for like probably like a half a day I was pretty down. I was like, man, I really fucking blew it. I was like, damn, man. I was like, I had the shot. I was like, because why? Because I'm like, that should have been me.
I know, but it will be. But you know what? God, I really do believe, because I've had those moments too. But I think, see how I look at it from an outsider perspective is, wow, you got fucking on Kill Tony. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that guy in front of you showed you what's probably going to happen to you in the future in a different light, in a different lens. I'm sure there's something out there about patience and virtue, but patience is one of the most difficult things for me. And I really do believe that that's what this whole business is about, with consistency and patience. Because I do think if you're consistent like you have been, and you keep doing what you're doing, and you just be you, right, that it will happen for sure. It's already happening. And that, I get it with that guy. But you know what? I mean, I think the same thing about, oh my God, this person had like 5 followers last year and now I still have the same amount and they have 100K. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, why are you feeding into that?
You don't know how they got it.
You know how you got it. People love you for you.
Mm-hmm.
You have people coming to see you, regardless if it's 10 or 100. That's literally how my audience sizes have ranged this year. And like I felt, you feel like I'll feel like a loser because I'm like, oh my God, how can I even like? I just put my thing on Amazon. I sold out Chicago, but I had 4 people in New York City in September. I'll never forget that. I was in Times Square. I was feeling so depressed. I was like, what the fuck? I don't understand how I can do this. And that's the day actually the Jewish guy came to the show and I met him. So it like turned around. Well, not really, but then I did the show. I was afraid to do the show again in New York City because of that. And I got very nervous to do it this June. I had more people at the show a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago. So I was so happy, but I was fucking nervous. I'm like, I'm a reject if I can't do it in New York. And then I was like, who gives a fuck?
But you're so brave to produce shows.
It's just Divorce Diaries. I ain't producing nothing else. It's hard.
You're producing a show. It doesn't matter what show it is.
It's a lot of work.
I don't like producing because of the angst.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I only want to produce Divorce Diaries unless there's something else that I spawn from the creative lens. When people say, oh, if you ever have another, I'm like, I will not produce anything. There's not enough time. I used to think I could. Yeah. And now I realize I'm like, no, put your energy in your baby and that's it. And then and your craft, because if that's as much time as I have. And I also put energy into a children's theater company I'm running by myself. It's too much.
There's so much. You got to pull yourself in so many different directions. You feel like there's not enough time. And then you feel guilty for sitting.
You feel guilty for sleeping till 7 a.m. Yeah. That's what I felt guilty for. I had wine last night and I slept till 7:15 a.m.
Yeah, that's late for you. You should be up at 5 a.m. writing.
I was. The last week I did good. I got up at 5. We filmed for 12 hours on Saturday because the kid who films with me for the show is like 23 and more availability than I do as a single parent. So you got to cram it all in. We had to cram in 2 episodes. I was so fucking tired.
Wow.
I fell asleep on the couch I didn't even finish my wine. I look like a fucking jerk off. I'm like, But it was so cool because I'm like, well, I'm able to do this, make money doing it, and keep hustling. But I couldn't move when I got home. I was so tired. And I love that kind of feeling when you're tired, right? Like,
because
I
feel
worked,
like
I did.
You feel accomplished.
Yeah. And that's better than a Saturday night date. As much as I complain, I was like, I'm alone on a Saturday night. I'm like, bitch, I'd rather be like that.
Yeah, that's why I'd say, like, I don't want anybody in my life because I don't have time to give you.
Right.
It's very selfish. I have to be very selfish. My daughter's my only priority.
Right.
So and I get resentful making time for her.
Right? Don't you feel bad? Like
I feel guilty about it, but I felt guilty about it, but it's. I feel guilty about it, but I feel like talking about it takes the evil undertone that I think it has away from it because it's not not coming from a mal place, but like I get why people like dads leave their families.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You're a very active father, first of all, in your daughter's life. I personally believe, because I've had this feeling of guilt, like maybe I should not, am I being too selfish by choosing this, right? By choosing to go, shifting careers and not having that financial stability I had maybe as a teacher. Although, to be very honest with you, I feel like it was kind of the same. But and then I thought to myself, you know what? This is what I went and sought out when I was in college. I shifted. I went back to it. It makes me happy. I would probably be more depressed inside if I didn't.
Yeah, and you would be worse person for it.
Yeah. And then I thought, okay, so that's what we're gonna go with, right? Now I want to ask your opinion on this. I'm in the running in the early stages, so I probably won't even get cast for this reality show. And it's like, of course, it's a reality show it's a competition with your family. My cousin and Liz are both in the team. I put them together on the team. They said they would do it with me.
Candy
and Liz. Yeah, they love us. They're like, oh, of course they love Candy because Candy is just like,
Candy.
I will fuck a bitch up if she. But so I would be alone. It's like Survivor, they're saying, but with your family, and you have to be able to have a passport and be able to swim. and you be away from your family for 4 weeks. I was like, I don't think I could do that. I mean, I want to do it because I think it would be a cool learning experience. What would you do? What would you do as I'm the mom now, right? Because I feel like men get the little bit of a hang. And look, it's what it is. Well, she could be with her mom. What if I said to my ex-husband, hey, I got cast in this reality show. It could be a huge opportunity, but I'm going to be gone for 4 weeks. What it would be your opinion? Would you be like,
what do you mean? If
honestly, would you be like, Michelle, you shouldn't do that?
No, I think if you believe in it and if it's going to be a good opportunity, I mean, this is what you want to do. And
now the risk is, now the money isn't even that great either. When they told us how, but you can win a big prize. Okay. You know, my ass is not going to be able to light a fire in the fucking middle of the Dominican Republic. I would probably find somebody to marry first, and then not really. They would run from me too. But anyway,
you guys just keep telling people papeles.
Papeles?
Yeah, papers. You want papers?
Papeles. All right. So I should know that 7 years of Spanish. I think I had. All right. So my thing is, I would want to do it for a multitude of things. And a big part of it is because they're like, we don't want actors, so don't say you're an actor. Then why the fuck did you find me as a casting director on my Instagram? I hate when they do this shit. Anyway, I said, all right, whatever. I would love to do it because it would give me an experience of fucking being alone and having to deal with the mental shit of having to do like, that's crazy on itself. Then you get this platform to be on TV and say, hey, I'm a comedian and I have all this other great stuff. This is awesome. But I don't know if I could actually leave my child and I don't think you'd be able to talk to them either.
See, that's the thing.
I don't know if I could do it.
There
Would you
go.
be able to do that if you got an opportunity? You would be able to do it.
I would be able to do it, yeah.
Okay. All right.
For sure.
Maybe I'll find the love.
I would. You know what? It would take some navigating, but I was going to mention this before too, so this is a good segue.
Yes.
About like I was talking when we were talking before about like the Kill Tony experience and how I was feeling. I feel like it's probably like a sign I should shift my mindset. My mindset going into comedy and these last 6 years, I've only been thinking that I have a ceiling, right? Where I don't have to be, I was able to be patient.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like, I can't do anything that makes me leave my daughter. Like being around my daughter for these formidable years is more important than comedy to me. And I'm like, I know that I can, because of the timing, this is the way the world works. I like to beat myself up because I started comedy late, but this is the way the world works. Because I'm able to still be in my developmental stage of comedy where I don't want people seeing me anyway. Right? Because I suck. So I don't want people seeing me anyway. I'd rather take these 6, 7, 8 years, really polish myself and get sharp so that when I am seen...
Then she's already
here. Yes, now I can bounce because she's a teenager. Things are a little better. I don't have to be around that much.
Yeah. I mean, I will say
I'm only a phone call away.
Right. So like, I can't leave my daughter's with my mother right now, right? So I can't leave her alone to go run up the fucking street. I can't. You just can't. An 11-year-old, right? Same kind of thing. But I don't even know. I just don't know, me personally. Like, I could say to her dad, like, this is going to be a great opportunity. We got to figure it out. I think at the end of the day, it came down to me. I don't know if I could leave and not see my kid. Like, I was crying at one point. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. So the head of the production company called me, and she's like, we really just want to show your tape to the network. It's too early to decide. And Kenny's like, bitch, the head of the production company called. That's great. I was like, we just trying to get a spin-off. But I don't know if I could actually go through with it. But I know that when you say mindset, that's actually something that I keep thinking about with that experience would maybe shift my mindset to not have the fears that I have now, to not focus on certain things I focus on with men, right? Or feel bad about. Because like when you're in these situations where you're taking risks and you're doing things you never thought you would do, your mindset is going to shift. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it.
It's gonna shift your relationship with your daughter too, where you're both are gonna.
She's going to be more therapy because I abandoned her for 4 weeks.
She's gonna be more independent.
You think so?
She's gonna have
She's
to
not
be.
going to have trauma from being with her
She's
other
gonna
parent.
have to be. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You're true. It's true.
I feel like kids are always going to be traumatized.
Right.
Everything's trauma. Coming out of the womb was trauma.
Yeah.
Initially, like right out the bat, you had to do it with trauma. Everything's trauma. You know. I've been doing this new bit where I talk about child abuse and like people call it trauma. I call it creating memories. That'll last forever. Because you know why I think of that? Because my grandma was rough, right?
So were mine.
And there's kids in my family that don't even know
out.
my grandmother and talk about her. So like that's legacy.
That's legacy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
the belt my grandmother would come out with.
yeah.
My grandmother used to still like attempt to hit me in her 90s with her cane.
That's the G in them.
Yes.
You know, that's the grandma.
I'll crack your mouth. Do that bit on stage because that's exactly what she would do. And she did a couple of times.
That's why it's relatable because so many people
have that grandmother
know about that grandma.
beats the shit out of them. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for opportunities like that. This is like a therapy session. I feel like I'm very excited now. I don't feel as bad as I did before when I was
same. I have these conversations and
you're in a relationship at the end of the episode.
Here we go again. That's all, folks. So the credits are going to be rolling.
I was thinking of a couple of a new short form Divorce Diaries like scenes to do, and I was like, well, if we can't film the season 1, I want to do them, and I think it would be fun to do.
You should
with the
original OG Mike.
We got to call you Carlos though,
or
that's
there's
his new
some
name.
Shows that they'll have the same reoccurring character. The same person play different characters.
I thought of that too. I did. Well, I thought of you
See
playing.
How I'm just pitching myself.
Well, we for sure need to do something together. I think it was very natural with the acting. I mean,
it was fun.
My manager doesn't like the smack being in the reel. I'm like, I really think we should keep it.
Yeah. Really think you listen, you either like it or I get a new manager.
No, he would no.
Listen,
well, he's going to help us get a production.
You can allow, and this is something I've been listening to a lot of professionals talk about. You have to check managers. You can't allow managers in on the creative. They're not creative. Their job is managing.
Well, I will tell you this about my manager. It's a little different relationship because he has helped me book a lot of work on it from a creative lens because he does casting too. Mm-hmm. So I can't agree. I can agree with that to the extent of, yes, there are some managers that don't do that. He, on the other hand, has been more than, he's helped me with a lot. So creative.
I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's talking about.
No. But I know what you're saying.
You have to follow your gut.
Yes, and I told, and he honors that. That's what I do love. He's like, I can't force you to do anything, but when I listen to him, things have been happening. So,
all right, don't listen to me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No. But I'm also saying that because I don't want him to hear this and be like, bitch, I'm not booking you on anything else now because your fucking friend over there.
Don't fucking talk to that guy no more. He told you to fire me.
No, please don't go away, Roger. No, but
what's his name? Roger.
Roger.
God damn it. This fucking guy's invading my life.
Oh, no, like that. He's not Latin.
Oh, all right.
But
Roger Stein.
Right.
Roger Goldstein.
Speaking of the Jewish guy that I wanted to talk to you about real quick, on a side note, he texted me and was like, I didn't message him back. He texted me and said, congrats on your 6th grader. Now, earlier, I just want to ask Vic. I always ask Vic questions about the guys that I date in my head, and just get your feel for this. This is a guy that wouldn't want to date me because I'm not Jewish, and that I talked about him on my podcast. So he was like, no. All right, so.
Did he come visit you with a sheet and a hole in it? Did he have this? Does he have a whole sheet with a hole?
He's not that orthodox. I'm really curious about that, by the way.
I don't know,
but he definitely.
Some people say it is.
His definitely was not. His thing was definitely poking. When we had the one intense makeout, it was definitely big. Oh. It was definitely. But
Shlomo, what are you doing, Shlomo?
It wasn't like it could. It was good size, but it wasn't like. I didn't want to touch it too much because I was like, no, then he's going to think I'm going to fuck around. And I'm like, you could touch me, but I don't know. All right. So this is what
butchered body part.
You know when they're, okay.
Say it, Nicole. Don't
When
hold
the
back.
dick,
Don't hold back.
when the dick is touching your vagina over clothes, and it's like, oh my god, we're like having sex, but we're not.
The dry hump.
We're even dry humping, but that would be fun.
The
have you ever
grind?
I haven't dry humped like that in a while, but basically, if you're dry humping like that, you might as well just have sex. Well, no. I mean, you had to put a condom on, right? Have you ever dry humped a girl and finished?
Not since I was a teenager.
But you would do that, right? People would dry hump and finish through a dry hump? That's odd, right?
I don't have a memory that I ever
You
did.
just fucked them. This is what
No,
he said.
that's a lie. Because that's how I learned how to jerk off.
From dry humping?
Yeah, because I used to wrestle these pillows. I had these big pillows, right?
Yeah.
I had those Puerto Rican beds that pull out from the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, right? So I had one of those beds, but they used to dress them up with the thing that you would put over top, and then those long pillows that make it
Yes.
look like a couch.
Yes.
Right? They're tall pillows, and they have like a zipper, and then it's just foam on the
Yes,
inside.
yes. My grandmother had them.
So I would lay that on the ground, and I was so into wrestling, I'd make championship belts. Right, I used to make championship belts out of cardboard and aluminum, and then I'd wrestle those pillows and have matches with them and stuff. And then I remember, I don't know what was on TV, and I'm on top of the pillow, and I'm just like watching TV, but I'm kind of like, not sexual. Like I'm already used to. I've already been wrestling with this thing, right? And then I'm like 11.
Oh,
right?
whoa.
I'm like 10 or 11.
That's how old my daughter is. I cannot handle it.
Oh, man, forget it. I'm like 10 or 11, and I'm on top of this thing, wrestling with it, and I'm hard.
Oh, you didn't
and
know.
I didn't know. Like, I didn't know anything about what's going on.
Yeah.
I didn't have a dad to tell me about my part, My youngest memory, my only memory of my father showing me anything, teaching me anything, is teaching me how to pee with my uncircumcised dick. And because when you pee, the extra skin bubbles up from all the pressure, and so it doesn't go flying all over the place. You got to push the bubble. You push down on the bubble, and it comes out in a stream.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
right?
that.
Yeah. So that's how I used to have to pee as a kid, and then, so what was I saying? Oh,
so you're with the pillow.
So I'm with the pillow. I'm on top of the pillow, rubbing on this freaking thing, and then all of a sudden, I had this amazing feeling, and then I was like, and then I felt like this wet stain in my lap, and I was like, what the heck? And I had all this, it was all over my hands, so I cleaned up, and then after that, I was just super curious about my dick, and I'm fumbling around with the thing, trying to do it again. Trying to make that.
Really
because it felt amazing.
The guys, it feels like 1,000 times better than one female orgasm. I remember hearing.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know either. But go ahead. Okay.
I'd have to change my sex to find out.
See, I remember being in I kind of feel like maybe I was in 6th grade when I started to feel those things, but I didn't know they were masturbating. I was like, oh, that's masturbation, until I got to college, and I was like, oh, I guess I have been masturbating.
Oh my God. You don't know.
You don't know. Oh wait, okay. So you fumbled around with your dick, but okay.
Anyway, that's how I figured out jerking off.
This isn't really convenient.
I don't know how we got there.
Wait, so now with this guy, I couldn't fall. I was having a lot of anxiety last week about money and just other stuff going on with my daughter's having hernia surgery this week, at the end of the week. Okay, lots of stuff. So he's like, "What's up with your sad face?" I said, "Oh, I'm having trouble sleeping." And then he's like, he sends me a sleep time app, right? And I said, he goes, "This is my favorite track. Open your mind to it." I said, "Thanks. My brain just sucks lately. I'll give it a try." And he wrote, "If it doesn't work, then just write your next short story and send my way." So I wrote trashy romance novels and sent them to him a while back, and he really liked them. This is so pathetic. But
wait, you wrote just for him?
Yeah.
How long?
Oh, they're long. They're
Wait, are they texts?
No, I'll show
or
you.
you
It's a Google Doc.
Oh, it's a fucking, you're Google Docking this guy?
Yeah, he loved them, but he won't. The reason why we won't get together is because he thinks I'm going to talk about him, like I'm talking about him now. So trashy. Okay, so this is. So then he wrote. So he opens it up. Wait, well, I'll show you this in a second. So he opens it up to talk about the short story, which is basically a fuck story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote, thanks. And when he said that, I was like, well, that's my key to bring up masturbating. Because I felt like he was poking me a little bit. I said, well, actually, I was going to pull out my vibrator. That usually helps with noise. He goes, what do you mean noise? I thought it helps other things. I said, yeah, I mean the white noise in my head. I use it to fall asleep. Oh, you won't use it for release? Use just the noise? Can't you ask Siri to play white noise? I said, no. In fact, I'm going to get my butt up to get it. He goes, got it. Okay. So go to it. Maybe imagine us spending a few close moments in bed where I finally get to massage your back and neck from behind. I said, that would be very nice. And everything else I wrote about. He goes, and you put my hand over yours, just holding your vibrator so that I can feel you as your body builds up climax. Let me know when it happens. First of all, if he's telling me that, does that mean that he's not seeing anybody?
No, not even close.
Oh, no, really? Because I was like, oh, great, he's still single.
If he's not seeing anybody
that
else?
means he's not.
Why?
What
makes you think?
If he's texting me these things, that means he's still single.
Oh, no. That doesn't mean he's still single. That just means you're making him horny.
Okay.
Where did you get that from? How did you get there?
Because I just... Wait, where was it? I was hoping.
Oh, my God. You went completely in a different direction than that guy was going. Oh, so he's single? He's like, no, he's
no,
just
I didn't tell him
horny.
that, but
he might not be. He's single, but he might still be single, but he might just be seeing other girls.
So, and that may be
still on the hunt.
Is still on the hunt.
Still on the hunt. She's like, does this mean he wants to commit? So you're really asking.
I did. I wanted to say, I was excited because I was like, wait, he's asking about.
Wait, does this mean he's my boyfriend now?
You want to read this? I mean, I don't know if you want to read those out loud, but because I'm going to sell them on my Patreon. I'm just kidding. Like I go.
We sit on a park bench. Your hand grazes my face. I kiss your hand.
I know.
You pull me in, and we kiss slowly. I'm like Kevin Arnold. I'm like.
Now, if a woman sent you these, what would you say?
The number you have dialed has been disconnected.
I talk about kissing his dick, gently taking my tongue along his shaft slowly. See, those are hot.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty hot. You know, what's funny is sex stories are so underrated. I haven't read a good sex story. I used to go to this website.
It's a good sex story.
What the hell was the name of that website? Ultrapasswords.com.
Maybe I should.
Right? And it was like a porn site. I wonder if it still exists. Let me look it up. Let me catch a virus real quick. I'm going to look it up right now.
Catch a virus while looking for porn.
Ultrapasswords.com. And this, nope, the site can't be reached. All right, ultrapasswords.com. It's gone. They canceled it. So this website, it used to have like all the webcams and stuff, but then it would also have, you could pick like your favorite porn star, and then it'll have all their videos. It was like, it was real old. This is like early 2000s.
And they had stories too.
And they had a story section, and it'd be long stories. And then like, I had already gone through all the videos. So I was like, let's see what's going on in this story section. Reading. And then they'd have all these categories and stuff, and you'd pick a story, and there'd be like these elaborate stories, and I'd read it, and I'd be like, oh, wow. Like at the end of it, you're like so damn horny.
Yes,
yeah.
That's my stories. Trashy Divorce Diaries is coming.
Yeah.
I mean, they were good. He thought they were really good. I was like, yeah, I want to act on, but I would get really horny, and it was not good because after I'd write them, I want to have sex, and I would be alone with my vibrator.
I was gonna say you have to write them with your vibrator. You'd have to get a vibrator pen. Is what you need.
My vibrator I have is like this. It's like one of those big ones.
It's an actual microphone that just vibrates.
Well, but it looked the shape of it. Like literally, it's like this. Hold on.
You're taking this comedy thing too far.
But it's true.
It's just you should get one of those.
What microphone?
You should make one. A microphone that looks like a dildo and give it to like all like rappers and.
Microphone that looks like a dildo.
It's a vibrator. You know how those wands are? Yes. Those wands look like that. They look like a microphone.
But the thing is with the vibrator, the ones that do that, they're great to get the release.
They're like a massager.
And help you fall asleep, yes. But when you want to have sex, they're not good because then
They
you're
change
like,
how you come.
how the fuck am I going to come with this guy?
This dick doesn't vibrate.
Dick doesn't vibrate.
Yeah.
That's why
Then you have to have sex with the vibrator at the same time.
You have
holding it
I
on
don't really
there.
like it's not enough connection.
It's too much.
Right. So that's why I want to buy one of the dick dildos where it's just like you put it in, you figure it out.
Yeah.
I feel like the dick I do a joke. I did a joke about that. Like when men say, what is it? I can't give you what you need. I'm like, yeah, your dick doesn't vibrate and you can't give birth. You can't give us what you need for sure. Like, I don't know. But he doesn't know. I think he's very sensitive and sweet and kind. But and that's why I really liked him because he was attentive more so than any guy. I thought he was like texting me, but to the point where I was like he overthought. And I like all the time about the religion in the beginning. That's why I was like, it sucks that the religion's keeping you back because we are really compatible. But then again, we can't be really compatible if you make such a big deal about religion and my stand-up. Even so. But I think I'm at a point where I'm just kind of like, I have no energy to go meeting somebody on an app and take the time to do that.
It's too much work, right?
It's too much work. I don't want to just fuck somebody I know through comedy or the acting, and then it's like, well, then it becomes like a work. No, that's blown up in my face before, physically and figuratively and literally. So I'm just gonna have to have a summer of the vibrator.
Oh my god.
So I think I would fuck this guy.
Who, Shlomo?
Shlomo, I would. Well, okay. I think I would have like an ongoing fling with him because in my brain I turn that into a relationship.
Yeah. Because you're gonna change Judaism.
Listen. I want to learn his practices.
Oh my god. All right. What's next for Michele?
All right. What's next for Michele? So Divorce Diaries will be in Richmond on August 26th. That seems like, August 19th. I'll be in Richmond August 19th, Boston August 26th. I will be in July. I'm working on some more stuff in July for the TV series. Filming is going on. I'm going to be back at the Dojo, which Vic will be joining me on stage again, right?
Surely.
October 28th and October 23rd will be in San Diego. So those are some loose.
I saw that on the Dojo page, the October date.
Yes. Oh, he has it up already? I love
Well, no,
that.
it's not on the I don't know if it's on the site, but it's on the behind the
Is it?
Yeah. Because
great.
I was checking another show. Like I'm always looking at what the ticket sales are for like future shows, so I know what I'm looking at. But then I was like scrolling down. But then I go to there sometimes when I want to know what shows are coming up, and then I had started scrolling down and I saw Divorce. I was like, oh shit, October
Boom
date.
shakalaka. Yeah,
Nice.
it's around 2 days after my birthday, so it'll be a fun show. And I'm gonna do San Diego the week before. So that's what's coming up. But most importantly, and I'd love to have you on, is I'm revamping my podcast for Divorce Diaries. So just if they go to divorcediariesshow.com and sign up for my email list.
DivorceDiaryShows.com. How about Instagram?
All of it is Divorce Diaries Show or
Divorce
Michele
Diaries Show?
Traina. Yeah, Michele Traina, Divorce Diaries. Follow it all. The pilot, so basically I would love to release the original pilot that we shot 2 years ago. I'm not sure when I'm releasing it on yet, if it's going to go through a distribution platform, if it's just going to go on my YouTube, but we're pitching it to people before I do that and oversaturate the internet, although I don't think it's oversaturation. I feel like I want people to now just be seeing it, releasing other footage.
Now the more people see it, the more people that'll want it.
I know.
You know, you can create
That's
that buzz.
what I said when I first got divorced, and 8 years later, I'm
That's
still
what
single.
it seems like everybody has to do now.
I
is
know.
You have to create. You have to bring a finished product almost.
That's why I shot
Like
it.
you have to bring your own viewers.
Well, do you know people were saying? Well, some people have a little annoyance with the fact that I raised the money and I shot it. Like, well, the sound isn't perfect on this and in it. It's supposed to be the fact that she's doing it on no budget. So yes, but if you want to, we have 6 episodes written. So why don't you produce it and bring us the money? We'll have better fucking sound. And that's what's going on in my life, and that's what you can catch up on.
Awesome. thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Let me go into my wonderful sponsors. As always, NJNYPoolTableServices.com, the A-Team. If you need a pool table moved, if you bought a new table, you don't know how to move it, you don't know how to set it up, call the A-Team. Go to NJNYPoolTableService.com. They are the best in the entire tri-state area. So if you need pool table service, pool table moving service, pool table repair, pool table dismantles, pool table assemblies, you got to fix the cloth. All right, your dog shitted on your pool table. Whatever happened, they'll fix it.
Fucks on your pool table.
Yes. Oh man, that would be bad because the felt is not that good. You get the burn.
Oh yeah, no.
They make it look good on TV, but you'd have to really stay like on the edge. You don't really want to get
that
on
doesn't
that
feel
cloth.
comfortable.
Plus, that cloth is itchy.
You want to just turn her around.
Yeah. Doggy style on top of the pool table. A-okay. All right. If you need more, if you need more sexting tips on the pool table, go to NJNYPoolTableService.com. They got a whole section dedicated to it. It's right in the gallery. No, I'm just kidding. All right, but they got your back. All right. Our other wonderful sponsor, Empire Sewer and Water, New Jersey. Empire Sewer and Water, NJ.com. Commercial and residential plumbing services. Get your drain cleaned, especially if you have a woman at home like Michele. You probably clog drains.
Yeah,
women clog hair clogs drains. It's not exclusive to women because you know what I'm finding in my drain now.
Oh yes,
little drains there. Right, it's getting there. It's coming down. But every time I shower and I wash my hair, I pull hair out. I see it in the sink from my beard. The shit gets everywhere, and you know where it ends up? In drains. So if you get a clogged drain, you probably got a bunch of Arab hair in your drain, or you got a bunch of Puerto Rican hair in your drain, and it's all clogging up. And you gotta call the A-Team. No, don't call the A-Team. Call it if you. No, I'm getting my sponsors mixed up. All right, Empire Sewer and Water. Call the Empire Sewer and Water. They got emergency service. They got a phone number there for you to call and everything. Empire Sewer and Water, NJ.com. And of course, last but not least, Combat Fitness Club in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. They are a full-service boxing studio. They got boxing fitness programs, personal training facility. They got professional. This is all ran by a professional boxer, Dane Guerrero. And you have a certified personal training as well. DM them on Instagram. You can go follow them, combat_fitness_club. Follow them on Instagram. Send them a DM so that you can reserve your monthly package. They got great monthly packages. Mention the podcast and he'll hook you up. Again, that's combat_fitness_club. Combat Fitness Club. Baby. That's it for the sponsors. As always, you can go to Dojo of Comedy East on Instagram. Follow all the shows here. TiffsComedy.com for tickets. You can follow me, Dojo Door Guy. Vic is funny. The VCast. Another episode. Thank you very much. And I love you all, you beautiful people. She's making moves. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're listening to my daddy of the VCast.